Chinese missile test, which shows progress with an advanced weapon called a hypersonic. A report of a Chinese missile test, which shows progress with an advanced weapon called a hypersonic missile. Our foreign correspondent James Longman is tracking the story from London. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, George. This demonstrates a huge step forward in China's military capability. And it's understood that US intelligence had no idea that China had moved this far ahead. Now, all this is according to a report Britain's Financial Times newspaper, and they say that this summer, China managed to launch a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile. They launched it into space. It circled the Earth before cruising towards its target. Now, these missiles, they can travel at 5 times the speed of sound. They can fly lower than conventional missiles, and they can also be maneuvered in the air, which makes them very difficult to trace. So bottom line, all this essentially means China is close to being able to launch a nuclear warhead against any other nation without any warning, and there'd be no defense against it. As you might expect, China is denying all this. They say it wasn't even a hypersonic missile. It was actually a routine test to verify reusable technology. But this test was shrouded in secrecy back in the summer. The US and Russia are also trying to develop this kind of technology, but I think it's fair to say China is well ahead in this particular weapons race. It's understood the missile actually landed some 25 miles away from its intended target, but it seems like it's only a matter of time before they have a significant advantage over the United States. George.
James Longman, thanks very much.
Well, hey there. Shalom. First and foremost, I love to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which are the true names of the Heavenly Father and of the Son, who the world ignorantly calls Christ, who's a so-called black man. To be honest to Elder Tahar and the rest of the elders out there that's in the spirit, pushing the word on fire. Peace and blessings to the elect and the sincere Akwaf that are watching, listening, and learning. All right, so this is from Twitter inside paper. Just then, Biden says he is concerned about Chinese hypersonic missiles. All right, so China got Jim Crow shaking in his boots, and that's why I played this video, because of the surprise missile test, as it says. And it said that this caught America off guard, which that's in the scriptures. This is Isaiah 47, verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from which it riseth. See, these guys didn't even consider. They said, oh shit, like these guys just tested new missiles. And it says that the missiles, the hypersonic missile, is faster than on the sound of speed, I believe it says. I'm gonna I'll replay the video back. And he said that it caught them off guard. Well, that's how the destruction of America is going to be. Esau ain't gonna know where it came from, because it also says that they can just shoot the missile and nobody would even be aware of it. You wouldn't even be aware that missile is going to be shot to America. That's how advanced in technology that hypersonic missile is. I'm reading again, Isaiah 47:11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And also that missile, that hypersonic missile, you can't even detect it. So it's not even going to be on America's missile defense system. They're not going to be able to track it on their radar. So in America's going down, and ain't no secret why they're testing these missiles now, or why they even have those missiles. That's because America is soon to be destroyed. It's set in stone. It says, thou shalt not be able to put it off. Why is that? Because the Heavenly Father is determined to destroy America. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. They ain't even going to know. They're not even going to know. This is Job chapter 14 and verse 5. And it reads, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass us. Right? So this devil, right, this kingdom ain't going to go over its boundaries. Their time of rulership is not going to be extended at all. When the Heavenly Father sees fit of destroying this place in Yahweh Tazah, it be soon. That's when it's going to be destroyed. Let me play it again.
Missile test, which shows progress with an advanced weapon called a hypersonic missile. Our foreign correspondent James Longman is tracking the story from London. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, George. This demonstrates a huge step forward in China's military capability. And it's understood that US intelligence had no idea that China had moved this far ahead.
See that? They didn't even know that China has moved that far ahead. That's why it says in Isaiah 47:11 says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from which it arises. See, they ain't even gonna know. They sleep. Of course they sleep because it's being ran by Jim Crow Joe. That niggas always sleep. It says, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. They ain't gonna be able to put it off because they ain't gonna know. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Let me read in the NOT. It says, so disaster will overtake you, and you won't be able to charm it away. Who calamity will fall upon you, and you won't be able to buy your way out. A cut, Salakia, y'all. A cut catastrophe will strike you suddenly, one for which you are not prepared. And you see, these guys are not prepared. These guys are not prepared. Because why the Heavenly Father put it in their spirit not to be prepared. Because the Heavenly Father is determined to destroy America. He's making sure America doesn't win this battle.
All this is according to a report Britain's Financial Times newspaper, and they say that this summer, China managed to launch a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile. They launched it into space. It circled the Earth before cruising towards its target. Now, these missiles, they can travel at 5 times the speed of sound. They can
5 times the speed of sound. That's why when you read in Revelation, the 18th chapter, that in 1 hour, so great riches are come to naught. This is Book of Revelation, chapter 18. And verse. Hold on. Yep, verse 17. It says, for in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. See, that's why America is going to be destroyed within an hour, because these missiles can get here within 15, within like 15 to 30 minutes. It's just fast. It says that it's fast as 5 times as the speed of sound, I believe it said. Let's go ahead and replay that back.
at 5 times the speed of sound.
5 times the speed of sound. That's how fast this hypersonic missile is.
They can fly lower than conventional missiles, and they can also be maneuvered in the air, which makes them very difficult to trace. So,
and it's hard or difficult to trace.
Bottom line, all this essentially means China is close to being able to launch a nuclear warhead against any other nation without any warning, and there'd be no defense against it.
As you might, there'll be no defense against it. This is the Book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. And this is all everything that he's saying is in the scriptures. Joel, the 2nd chapter, I'm reading the NIV. Praise to life. Let me see. Yep. Joel 2 and verse 8. Now, when you read Joel, the 2nd chapter, it's talking about the missiles. It says, they do not jostle each other. Each marches straight ahead, meaning that these missiles, they don't collide against each other. One doesn't get in the other missile's way. No, they're just in a straight line, just like horses. It says they plunge through defenses without breaking ranks. See that? They plunge through defenses. And what is defenses? Missile defense system. So the missile defense system that America has, it ain't gonna do anything against China's hypersonic missile. And yes, the missiles are documented in the scriptures. There's Revelation 9, starting verse 15. And the 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for the slated third part of men, which that third part of men is talking about Esau. Verse 16, and the number of the army of the horsemen. So the scriptures likens the missiles unto horsemen, just like when you read in Joel the 2nd chapter, where 200,000. And I heard the number of them. That's talking about the missiles, an innumerable amount of missiles. It's going to be sent over here to America. It's going to be beautiful seeing this place go up in the flames. You know, Yahweh Tazah. You know, I endure all the way to the end to see it. And then looking at the bottom from the top, being on the chariots. Like the scriptures call it a sea mingled with fire. The second Ezra 16 and verse 13, it says, For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. That's right. So the fire is not going to be put out until it hits over here to America. Like as an arrow, which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. So these missiles are intended to come over here to America, and it's going to hit. And it's going to consume Babylon the Great. This place is going to be the lake of fire, which 2/3 and the rest of these nations are going to be burning in. But as for you elites, we're going to take y'all asses into slavery. Right, so that's just a quick video. Yahweh Tazai, if you brothers and sisters were edified. Right, the third woe cometh quickly. With that being said, shalom.